Hello everybody, welcome back. This is game number 2 in a best of 3 between ESC Goody, our blue Terran player, in the bottom left part of the map on Zelmega Caverns, the top part of the map, top right part of the map, Liquid TLO, our purple Terran player, and we have Goody going out with that SCV scout very early at the same time he was placing a supply depot. Now, I don't think this is going to necessarily be a scout. I think the initial point of this SCV is, of course, to put a proxy barracks, but I could be wrong. Goody maybe just wanted to scout early and make sure his opponent doesn't forget his supply depot, being very nice about it. But TLO, standard opening here, no scouting yet. Barracks being placed, and yeah, pretty much standard opening. He's just going to do a little bit of harass here. Not quite sure why he's doing this, and that is easily going to be fended off. The one SCV rush really kind of got solved the first day of beta. I think people figured out how to counter the one SCV rush about the first day of beta. And TLO almost loses an SCV. What? Oh, wow. If he loses that, that would have just been the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. Is he going to lose it? He's not even repaired it. He could just walk in there and one-shot it. But Goody. Oh, wow. TLO almost making him out, getting that SCV kill there. Extremely entertaining game this far. SCV battles back and forth. So Goody hasn't started his orbital command yet. There he goes. Went for a 16-1, getting this Marine out. And just doing some scouting. So I don't know why Goody did that, but TLO is going for. He's not going for a standard build. He's actually going to get. He doesn't have a refinery yet, and not quite sure what TLO is going to go do for. He's probably going to make an expansion down here. It's going to have 400 pretty soon. Now here's the thing. A lot of people, like, always have this conflicting argument in my head. You know, should I make the command center in my base safely and float it down and just lose like those couple milliseconds, or couple minutes, not minutes, seconds, alright, seconds of mining time, or should I build it out here like TLO is doing and get it up faster, make SCVs faster, all that good stuff. And TLO is actually also making a barrack, so I think TLO is just going to go for some super aggressive, massive Marine build. He's making more barracks. Yeah, TLO is definitely going to go for a huge income opening here. Now in this situation, I think this command center opening is going to be very safe, just because he's going to have so many Marines, and unless his opponent gets mass helling, he should be able to hold this expansion very easily. He's just going to pump a lot of Marines out. This actually may be for a scouting barracks. Now, I've thought about doing this way back in beta. I saw one person do it on Lost Temple, and like almost no one ever does it anymore. But he's going to make this barracks just to fly into his opponent's base, not necessarily a proxy barracks, but he's just going to make it fly into his opponent's base, scout it out, instead of wasting the scan. And I think that's really what he's going to do here with this barracks. And yeah, here we go. He's just flying in this barracks for scouting purposes. Spend the 150 minerals plus the build time of that SCV. So yeah, he's just going to use this scout out, see what's going on, and he's going to see a starport. He's going to see a factory making a tech lab. So at this point, Goody's going to have to decide, okay, do I want to stick with this plan, or do I want to alter it a little bit? Because right now it's looking like it's going to be Banshees. Just guessing it's going to be Banshees. But as you can see, this barracks pays for itself easily. You get all that information, and you get a bunch of good scouting information. It's, you know, a huge flying overlord. But Goody's going to do some scouting with this Hellion. He hasn't seen this expansion yet, but he's probably going to see it very soon, as he runs around here in the back of his base. And Liquid TLO is going to have a bunch of Marines out here and bunkers going up, so this expansion is going to be pretty safe. So with this actual build TLO is going for here, I think the thought to put the command center being building it right at the natural is a safe plan. I think it's safe because he has the Marines and the army to back it up, so it's safe. But if his opponent went for something crazy like 2 barracks proxy, 3 barracks proxy, 1 base, I mean, he would have lost it for sure. So I don't know. In certain situations, I just prefer to always make it in my base. I don't care if it's wasting minerals, but I just prefer to play a little bit safer in that situation. And TLO is just going to leave these Marines here on hold position next to this tall grass here, that because the Hellion can't attack until he comes on the other side of this grass. So these Marines are going to be able to shoot as soon as it comes around. And Goody doing the smart decision, pulling this Hellion back to base, getting it repaired. And at the same time, we have this Banshee is going to go take some turns getting some kills. This Banshee can't two-shot Marines, of course. And high-sec auto-tracking actually being upgraded for Liquid TLO, so that is interesting. 3 missile turrets going up, high-sec auto-tracking. That is an expensive upgrade that almost we never see in Terran Mirror Match. And from that single upgrade, I'm assuming TLO is going to go for some type of like huge macro game and get like 5 bases this game. I don't know. It just it seems like you would only get that upgrade if you plan on making a lot of missile turrets and turtling for a really long time. Not quite sure, but Scan going down. He's gonna get that Banshee. Oh, he sneaks out of there. He sneaks out of there. She is happy with that. She's getting out of there with 14 life, and he really needs to hit that decloak this Banshee, because you don't want to waste all this precious energy. That stuff is very valuable. So he's just going to let that run out, unfortunately. He's going to waste all his energy. Too bad. But let's check out kind of what he's going for. TLO is doing a really good job with these SCVs. His macros is doing really nice. So we can see he's transitioning. Not really transitioning, but he's going to go with a really heavy bio army. He has a lot of minerals, and you can definitely dump that into Marines. Marines are great in Terran Mirror match. Seem to be all the rage. He used them really well last game with that really strong Marine tank and medevac push. So definitely like the Marines. TLO is going to go with that. And Goody just doing a little bit of damage here with this Banshee, not getting too much to accomplish. He is gaining map control with the Banshee, so it did allow him to get up his expansion very safely. And he's going to lose that Banshee. Oh no! Not quite sure why he microed up that ledge. I guess he was assuming there wasn't going to be any Marines up there, but he ran into these rallied Marines coming from these barracks, and that didn't work out too well for him, so he lost the Banshee. And losing 2 Banshees this early in the game against just Marines, that's not too smart. There's no good reason to lose a Banshee to Marines. If you've got Cloak, you should play it safe. If your Banshee gets half-life, just take it back to the base, repair it up. That way when the fight comes, you got 2 Banshees instead of no Banshees. And, I mean, 1 Banshee later on is better than 3 Marines later on for him as the game rolls around. So TLO definitely thinking more long-term here, it seems like. So Goody's got a bunch of siege tanks placed up. He's got engineering bay up front, some bunkers, all that good stuff. And this Hellion still going out there doing some scouting. 2 Marines here hanging out the Zelnaga Tower. They're going to get shut down by Goody. And Steven going up, and actually that Marine may get home. Yep, looks like he actually might make it all the way home. Dude's little buddies here shooting rocks. And he's going to have to scan to kill that. Does he have enough for a scan? Oh, doesn't look like TL had enough for a scan. He was going for it, and he turned. He's like, no, no, no. He got a message from the command center like, dudes, we don't have enough scan. Turn around. And he's like, oh my god. So more barracks actually going up here in double medevac. So really heavy bio medevac play from TLO at this point. So we're going to have a drop going on from PLO. He's got 2 medevacs. I think this is going to be a split drop. I don't know about you, but I think he's going to drop like some Marines over here and some back here. But there's a really good tank coverage of this expansion, and I don't think it's a single spot he could drop Marines where this is actually going to accomplish anything. And we have another bunch of Marines attacking here to the left. They're going to get that Banshee. He's not watching good. He's going to cloak it, but he actually does get away. He's going to come back and try and do some attack, but where's that drop at? It's down here, just kind of hanging out that third. Nothing down there yet. I guess TLO is maybe kind of expecting the third there. Maybe not. Marines back, working on the rocks. 2,000 life on those destructible rocks. 3 armor. All good stuff to know. And Goody back here at this Zelnaga Tower. Scan going down. He's going to pick it off. Oh, yes. TLO 3-0 with killing those Banshees. Very nice there. Those are really expensive tech units. You can't just throw them away like that. Goody really needs to be more careful with those. And this tank has so much coverage. Look at this. He can't drop. He's going to lose Marines. He's going to drop on the SCVs. Wow, that's a really nice, really nice play there. Just dropped just a couple. This friendly fire did a lot of damage to those SCVs. Not quite sure if that was worth it, though. I really need to check. Really would have to look at that, go back and look at the replay to see how many SCVs he actually killed and how many Marines he actually spent on that drop. It looks like he lost about 5 Marines on that attack. So TLO already setting up missile turrets. These Banshees have totally been shut down by TLO this game. Missile turrets, high-sec auto tracking, and look, he's going to lose another one. Oh my god, what is that, 4 Banshees this game? Just think if he had 4 Banshees right now. He could just like fly in here and boom, 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 kill Tech Labs like nobody's business, and then fall back. So TLO setting up his third base. He's definitely ahead of his opponent. Let's check the harvester count. 56, so it's dead even, but I think as soon as his third throws up, we're going to see this gold base really kicking, and we have this run around up here to the left. We got the Hellions. How many is that? 5 Hellions run around the back, and then TLO attacking you from the right, and then another drop coming from the left, so it's like 3 simultaneous attacks. I'll try to do my best to cover all of these. Missile turrets don't attack ground units. Unfortunately, those Blue Flame Hellions are going to be killing SCVs like crazy, and this drop is coming over here on the right, but it's going to get shut down. Missile turret killing all those medevacs. Huge drop here in the back of this tank, getting taken out. Goody quickly trying to reinforce that where those medevacs or those Hellions quickly got shut down by TLO eventually. And right now, wow, Goody doing a decent job of holding this off. Actually, this attack here in the main kind of got shut down. So if you took all 3 of these attacks and added them up, I think this was an overall win for Goody. Now let's check the harvester count after that. So 44 for TLO versus 56 for Goody. So Goody fared very well. And then we had another attack. Wait, this was maybe just running away. I'm not quite sure. But I think this overall, these 3 different attacks we had going on here, definitely favored better for Goody. He's kept most of his SCVs. He did a lot of damage to TLO's army. And Hellions just tearing up some Marines. And then TLO is going to bring some Marauders to try and fight off those Hellions. They quickly run away. And tanks being pushed up here to the gold base for Goody. Goody now has his 3rd base. Both players on 3 bases. And some Marines and 1 SCV working on taking out some rocks. TLO loves killing rocks. And he's running up here, gets shot by that tank. But this drop that was right here, TLO wasn't paying attention to this drop. And like you saw there, he just lost both of those medevacs, I think. At least one, probably both of them. Just this missile turret because he dropped him in range. Not quite sure why he dropped him in range. It would have been so much safer just to drop him behind the high grass and then run in with your Marines, but he dropped him right here in vision of this missile turret, lost both of his medevacs, and this tank he had here, the previous tank, killed so many Marines, and this drop was just went horrible. The attack here at the back, the Hellions, another Hellion attack, getting more and more kills with these Hellions. You can check that 6 kills, 3 kills. This Hellion's doing very nice work. With that, we can see the army here from TLO. Let's check the army tab right now. 152 food for Goody, so Goody has a really nice lead here, and Liquid TLO 129 food, actually 128 food. Just lost another one. Not sure where that was at. Is there another Hellion back here dying or something? Not quite sure, but a lot of action going on in this game. And let's check the resource tab. Just curious. So both players keeping it fairly low on that. Income definitely ahead. Goody definitely far ahead in this. You can see the harvester count 67 versus 45, and looks like Goody's going to take his chance and push up here, take control of the Zelnaga tower, and pressure this gold base. And TLO is going to go for his counterattack. No, he's turning back. He's going to run straight into this. He's got a bunch of Marauder Marines stemming. He's going to run straight into these tanks. He's going to take out those tanks. There's no reinforcements quickly. Those Hellions were just out of position for a second, and TLO took advantage of that, taking out those tanks, dropping that. Another attack over here on the left. There's like fights all over the place here. Just like little armies going rogue all over the place, and just different attacks. This mini-map is so active this game. It's like an ant farm down this thing. And these Hellions are going to try and get out of there. 2 attack upgrades for TLO. Let's check the infantry attack upgrades. Stimming 1 Marine, going to catch it. Yes, he does. He gets that Hellion. So a 4th base just now going up for TLO at the top left part of the map. And Goody, is he building an expansion? Yes, he is. His 4th base is going to come up momentarily. A Hellion versus Marauder here. And it looks like the Marauder is going to fight off that. But Goody with some siege tanks. Hellions, mostly mech play here. Sort of mech versus bio. This is a really interesting TvT. Thor's dealing a lot of damage to tanks with some nice siege. TLO doing a really good job of spreading his Marauders out so that tanks don't do as much damage. And it looks like TLO may win this fight, but no, tanks reinforcing that Thor does die, and TLO is going to win this fight, pushing this back. And the benefit, actually he's pushing too far. These tanks in the back doing a lot of damage. Goody did a really nice job of baiting him back there a little bit and kind of evening out that fight towards the end. Now what I want to say here during the second downtime is the difference. Oh, he's doing some Marauder drops there on the tanks, taking out the tanks. Very nice play, picking him back up. TLO, really good drop there. This second game is just so much more intense than that first one. Another Marine just showing up out of nowhere, getting shot by the Hellion. Forgets what team he's on. But the difference between the Bio Terran versus the Mech Terran is that if the Terran player who's going mech loses like a big majority of his tech units right there, it takes a really long time for him to rebuild those Thors, rebuild those tanks, and just get a sufficient army back. While TLO, this position can just crank out a ton of Marine Marauder and just go on more and more and more attacks. And you can see there's a small amount of attacks he's just going for here. And 2 more Hellions going to get some kills. Let's check this out. 1 kills on this guy. He's giving those Marauders the ramp, but TLO is all over this. Look, he's just got Marauders all over the place. But quite a few kills here from all these Hellions. 10 kills on this dude. And it looks like we had another drop here. Dropping 1 Marauder just take on a missile turret. And there's just units all over the place. We have a bunch of units being routed. You can see the production from TLO, just the units just being streamed in from all these production buildings. Look at all these barracks. Whoa, 8 barracks just right here. How many starports is he up to? 2 starports. Double upgrades gone. Hasn't started any armor yet, though. It looks like he's just got 3 attack upgrades for his infantry finished. Yeah, so he's 3-1. 3 attack, 1 upgrade for his bio for TLO. Let's check the upgrades for Goody at this point. 1 attack upgrade for his Marauder, or for his armor. And it looks like 2 is on the way. Still going mech at this point. And we have a drop here in the back. Just Marauders, just using scan to get vision of this, killing some SCVs. But Marauders aren't the best thing to kill SCVs. Marines are so much more effective than that. if those were all Marines, these things would have just evaporated at this point. Hellions just trying around to come here and flank, but TLO is on top of it, just taking these Hellions out. This attack isn't going to fare too well, but that one Hellion is going to get back here. He wants to get a kill. Nope, not going to get a kill. That's probably the first Hellion attack that wasn't too good, but all his previous ones have done very nice. So Cloak is going out for TLO. He's going to have Cloak, so he's going to switch into some Banshees here, it looks like. And let's check the harvester count. 80 to 50. Whoa, but somehow TLO is ahead in the count there. Did he just drop a bunch of mules in his gold or something like that? But he does have his 4th, working on a 5th, and a bunch of Marauders coming up. Siege tanks showing up a little late to the party. He did manage to snipe a couple SCVs there. And all these SCVs are pulled away. These guys are just idle. Oh, no. I hope he pays attention to that and puts those guys back on duty there in a second. So more Hellions trying to get on, but TLO's on top of him now. He's getting tired of losing all his units. And TLO just has a lot of units all over the place. And these SCVs are still idle. Oh, no. Not too good. Not too good for Goody here. He does have a huge harvester lead, but he can't afford to leave. Like, I need to switch it to his vision to see how many idle units. He's got 20 idle SCVs at this point. Oh, no. This is... Oh, wow. Goody, it's like if you subtract 21 from 78, he's only ahead by, what is that, 7? And TLO flying at orbital command to the right side of the map. Goody now is building a planetary fortress at the bottom right part of the map with the expansion. There's so many bases for each player at this point. And TLO with the small army, 4 Marauders, a couple of Marines going to come up here and do a lot of damage to these SCVs. And considering the SCV count is so close at this point, he's going to try and suicide and kill this command center. He might get it. Nope. Nope, it doesn't look like he's going to get it. Tanks now sieging up, and this army basically just got thrown away there a little bit. So TLO now has this expansion up on the right that could easily be taken out by his opponent. And whoa, no, sorry, we had a Hellion attack over here in the top left, and TLO managed to eventually kill that. But the harvester count, you can see, dropped a little bit there for him. He was at 50. Looks like he lost 9 harvesters in that little skirmish. TLO stemming a lot of Marauders and medevacs. Looks like he's going to try and take out this planetary fortress. There are so many tanks, and he's just running straight into this huge... There's like 6 tanks that are in a planetary fortress. TLO is crazy to do this. And it looks like he's going to manage to kill everything, but that was not a good trade whatsoever. But his economy is basically tied at this point, and now he's just going to fall back. Those medevacs are doing as much healing as they can. SCV's repairing like crazy, going to save that planetary fortress. Lost about 7 tanks to counterattack. Goody pushing up with a lot of siege tanks. This is a lot of siege tanks. He's going to take out both these bases at the same time. Hellions, Thor pushing up here, taking out this top left base. Medevac and an SCV don't know what to do, and TLO quickly trying to come up here back to his expansion, try and reinforce it. This base over here on the right is really just going to transfer some SCVs. There they go. They're going to go over there, and this base is now no longer going to be able to mine from until he gets rid of these tanks. You can see all the tanks he's got here. 9 siege tanks set up, 1 Thor, and here's the Cloak Banshee. Showed up nice tech transition for TLO getting Cloak Banshee against an opponent going a lot of mech. It really reduces the amount of AA because it is mostly limited to Thors, and Banshees can do so much damage to tanks. You can look at that right there. He's pushing up with missile turrets. Unfortunately, they're a little bit late, so he's building these missile turrets. The future fight to deal with those Banshees. You can see how close these missile turrets are. That's how close this game is. There's another attack down here in the bottom right part of the map. TLO is going to take out this planetary fortress. No repair going down. It is just dropping. A lot of SCVs, medevacs, mules mining from this base over here on the right, and it looks like TLO is losing this fight in the top left part of the map. Bottom right side of the map is doing well for him. So both players have their side of the map. It's going pretty good for him. This Goody just running. I don't know what this SCV is doing. He was attacking a Marauder. Units are going crazy this game. Goody's pushing up. These tanks are so out of position. Those Marauders are going to slaughter everything. Oh my gosh. Goody getting way too aggressive here with those tanks and just lost all of those mech units. Oh, that was so bad. Oh, now SCVs are just coming to the mix. What are they doing? Were they going to show up to repair those tanks? A little late to the party, bud. You have to build one from scratch now. TLO with an amazing instinct to go straight for those tanks. And Goody, what were you thinking? There was no reason for Goody to push his advantage at that point. He is already stopping his opponent from mining this gold. He's stopping his opponent from mining the top left base. And you can just wait with the tanks, let him mine out of his main, which he already has, let him mine out of his natural. But I'm going to come back to that. TLO is coming down here. He really wants to stop this base from being mined at. You can see TLO is limiting his opponent to 3 bases. He's like, okay, you can have those 3 bases. I'm going to harass you at your 4th and stop you from getting a 4th and just try and beat you with bio. But Goody has a lot of units. You can click those upgrades to 1 for mech. And there, good. TLO's got a orbital flying over the bottom. What is TLO doing? He's like, I want this base too. He's like, you already landed there, and he's just flying orbitals all over the place. And these two orbitals are flying away too. So TLO evacuating the right side of the map now. This is switching so much back and forth. Goody, there's an attack over here in the left. Looked like Goody's gonna lose his command center. TLO taking out with a couple Marines, and this top left base is now landed again. TLO has more orbital commands flying around the map than I think he does of Banshees. At this point, Medevac just kind of hanging all over the place. People are just forgetting where their units are. This is actually an intensely crazy game. Not quite sure I've seen anything like this in recent history. Stimming some more Marines are going to come up here and try and kill a planetary or a factory that just happens to be up here in the middle of nowhere. I think this is when Goody was trying to go for that push with those tanks, and he got way too aggressive and lost it. Now, TLO is going to push now here down the middle part of the map with these Marauders. Sending some SCVs over here. Looks like he's going to long distance mine. He's probably going to fly orbital over there. He's got orbitals just hanging around all over the place. They're like freaking birds at this point. Just floating around the map. You can look planetary fortress. Two over here. One's kind of hanging out here with the gold. This one's flying back up here to this position. And Goody really is just trying to hold on to this, and he wants gas. Look at this. He's at 16 on gas. That was pretty nice. 16. But Goody needs to hold this base. This is the only base he's mining from. This game has now become a war of attrition. Both players now have a low number of mining bases at this point. TLO does have a lot of command centers, orbitals flying over the place, but he's only mining off this top left base. A Hellion up here, getting some kills, 2 kills. He's going to kill some Marines. No units up here to defend, but looks like TLO is always on top of that. He's going to send some units up here to kill off this Hellion. Goody doing, like, seriously. Goody's #1 attribute so far this game has been his Hellion Harass. He's done so much damage with his Hellion Harass, and TLO has just been all over the place trying to deal with this Hellion Harass as much as possible. TLO setting up a contain kind of out here. At this point, contain / protecting his expansion. Look at all these mules. Whoa, he's got 8 mules that are mining in this right side of the base, so he's now on 2 bases. TLO pushing up here, stemming. He's going to get that. Nope, that Hellion is going to walk straight on by. And throwing up double scans, it looks like. He's just going to send these Marauders up here to the front, kind of take out those tanks. Those tanks sieging way too late. Those Marauders getting great position. Take out all of those tanks. More tanks being reinforced. He's sieging up out of range of his tanks. He's going to try and stop these Marauders from dealing damage. But you can see this production line is just streaming out of here. And TLO getting so many units killed off reinforcements. Marines coming up from the back. Those tanks cannot see because they don't have 5 vision. But the orbital command, Goody lifts it, gets vision. And this attack, long-range mining from these SCVs on the left side of the map. These Marauders did a lot of damage. They're 2-1 upgrades still for mech infantry at 2-3. And this one Banshee is still flying around. He's got the low number of Banshees, just popping them in and out all over the place. And TLO, I think, is ahead at this point. Let's check the resources tab. Yeah, he's definitely ahead. Wow, 119 food versus 62. This game has went back and forth and back and forth. Goody, he had these tanks right here. When they were sieged, he was the money maker. He was in here. We have another attack. He's just going to lose so many units here. These tanks sieging way too late. Thors and tanks not the best unit to deal with Marauders. And Goody GGing. Wow. Whew. This game, I might have to just watch this replay again just to catch some of the drops I missed, because there had to have been stuff I missed, because there's just so many things on. Hellions, Banshees, Marauders, tanks pushing up, tanks sieging up. It was crazy. But I think the key decision here in the game that totally lost it for Goody was he had his tank sieged here. He just stopped TLO from mining from this base and this top left base. He forced TLO to be mining at just his main and his natural is almost mined out. So he's like in a position. He had 3 bases going. He had his gold base. His opponent didn't have his gold base. He could have easily secured this bottom right base with siege tanks slowly, and just said, okay, you can have those bases. I'm not going to pressure you anymore. I'm just going to beat you in the macro game. But no, Goody unsieged his tanks, pushed up without any support, and lost like 7 tanks to those Marauders. And that switch in army value totally went for TLO. After that, TLO could just break through the left side of the map. It gave him a chance to rebuild all of these bases. So he took back the gold. He took back this top left base, and he started mining again. That just brought him back in the game. TLO, that was the spot he looked for. He saw those tanks. He just went for it. Boom. Pulled the trigger, took him out, and that was like, I think, the most important decision made by both players in this game. Goody's mistake to push, and TLO's correct decision to attack with those Marauders, stem, take out all those tanks. So, I don't know what else to say for this game, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I certainly did. Check out my YouTube page, youtube.com/eOnZerG. Subscribe. Leave comments. I don't know how you could comment about this game. It was amazing. Anyways, that was game number 2. TLO taking this 2-0 in this best of 3 for EPS. See you later.